Good evening, everyone. My name is Commissioner Carter. I would like to call the April 8th, 2024 Board of Commissioners Business Meeting to order. As always, we will begin with our pledge, and this evening it will be led by the Zadell family.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Logan, will you please complete a roll call?
Catherine Carter, President.
Here.
Rebecca Moody, Vice President.
Here.
Denise Hall, Commissioner.
Here.
Gregory Mull, Commissioner.
Here.
Sandra Zadell, Township Manager.
Here.
Megan Weaver, Assistant Township Manager.
Here.
Lauren Gallagher, Township Solicitor.
Here.
Nicholas Cross, Township Engineer.
Here.
David Duffy, Chief of Police. Nathan Crittenden, Finance Director. And it is noted that Commissioner Liz McNaney and Zoning Officer Van Raker are absent.
Thank you. Ms. Gallagher, our solicitor, for the announcements for executive session.
Thank you, President Carter. The board met in executive session earlier this evening to discuss matters of potential litigation and personnel.
Thank you. Next up on our agenda is recognition of Ms. Zadell for 5 years of service. Ms. Zadell, as the first Black Township Commissioner and the first Black female board member, I know what it means to be the first in Upper Gwynedd Township. Tonight, we are celebrating Ms. Sandra Zadell for 5 years of service to the Upper Gwynedd Township. And as the first female township manager, that is a remarkable achievement. Your tenure undoubtedly symbolizes progress and inclusivity within our community. Celebrating 5 years of service to our township is a significant milestone, whether it's through volunteering, working for local government, or contributing to community projects. Your dedication has undoubtedly made a positive impact. We are recognizing Sandra Zadell for her 5 years of outstanding service to the township. Sandra has been an invaluable leader of our team since she joined us in April of 2019. Throughout her tenure, Sandra has consistently demonstrated unwavering dedication, leadership, professionalism, knowledge, and a strong work ethic. Sandra has helped lead the township and support the commissioners to make policies, goals, and visions a wonderful reality. Through Sandra's management, she has secured roughly $3.7 million in grant funding, streamlined the budget process, created a capital plan for future planning, managed staff through millions of dollars of infrastructure upgrade projects, made the 2040 Comp Plan EAC HRC a reality, and ensured transparency through televised meetings, e-weekly newsletters. It is also important to note that Sandra was faced with significant challenges over the past 5 years and handled them with grace. 2 of these challenges include leading a team through the uncertainty of COVID-19 and a natural disaster, destroying our wastewater treatment plant. Sandra's outgoing, positive, caring attitude has helped shape and lead a great team of Upper Gwynedd staff. It is often a common response from department heads that one of their favorite things about working for Upper Gwynedd Township is working for Sandra. Her willingness to go above and beyond and her ability to collaborate with colleagues make her a true asset to our team. Her passion for work in local government and her dedication to serving the Upper Gwynedd community are evident in everything she does. Sandra, on behalf of all of us at Upper Gwynedd Township, we want to express our deep gratitude and thanks for your 5 years of service. I'm not done. Your hard work, commitment, and positive attitude have helped shape our organization and contribute to our success. We look forward to many more years of working together and achieving great things. Congratulations, Ms. Zadell, and thank you so much for all of your support from Commissioners Boot Camp to tutoring sessions on government acronyms.
Thank you.
Are there any other board members who would like to comment?
I have a few thoughts, just a couple. When Sandra began working for Upper Gwynedd Township, it was a big time of transition. And Sandra was the perfect person to foster that change. She came with a wide breadth of knowledge about her position, but also a wealth of knowledge about municipal governing. All of that background, plus her fresh new perspective, along with her naturally charismatic, patient, and creative personality, made for a phenomenal township manager. Sandra is a born problem solver, negotiator, and leader. She can truly think on her feet and is also a fan of careful preparation. Her flexibility, tenacity, and vision make her an amazing member of the Upper Gwynedd Township team.
Yeah, I would just like to say, as a new commissioner, Sandra's leadership for the township has been invaluable for us to be ingratiated into this role on the Township Board of Commissioners. You know, her explanation of how the different departments work and our role in those departments and introducing us to the different staff members have made this transition, you know, far easier than it ever would be possible without an effective township manager. So having seen you in action and being the recipient of those kind of benefits, I want to say thank you very much, Sandra, and I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thanks, Greg.
And then something that I accidentally sent to Sandra already, so she's seen this. During the election and coming into this role as a new commissioner, one thing I've heard over and over again is some variation of, we're so lucky to have Sandra, and Sandra's the best manager. And even though I've only been in this position for just over 3 months, I can easily say that those statements are very true and also an understatement. Her expertise in all things township related is obvious to anyone who spends any time with her. And thank you for your dedication to Upper Gwynedd. And as everyone has rightfully told me, we are so lucky to have you.
Well, I can't even look at my family or the audience, and that was very embarrassing, and I thank you very, very much. That was very nice of all of you to say, and I have to say that my time in Upper Gwynedd, I've learned so much, and I've enjoyed every moment here. The team here is fantastic. We've built an amazing squad to do amazing things for our residents. I think our residents are the luckiest in the whole state because they have this great team that serves them, and I'm lucky to lead this team. And I'm lucky to work with this group up here too. So thank you. Now I can look at my family because I've calmed down a little bit. Thank you guys for supporting me through this crazy job that I have here. So thank you, everyone.
You guys want to say anything? Please, no. You good?
They definitely don't want to say anything.
Thank you for coming. Next up on our agenda, number 6, public comments and concerns. Please state your name and if you are a resident or non-resident when you come to the mic. Thank you for respecting the 5-minute rule and practicing decorum. Our goal is always to give you the most complete and correct answers to your questions from our staff, who are experts in all of their areas. For that reason, you have the option of enclosing your email address in the registry if you would like us to reach out during the week with a full answer to your questions. In the past, people have been concerned about public comments being answered behind the scenes, so to speak. So we started answering those questions and bringing them to the next board meeting. So we have 2 this evening. One was from Fred Hankin and his follow-up questions about the CPRO survey. He has several questions. Why are non-residents allowed to take the CPRO survey? And for those of you who don't know what the CPRO survey is, it's the survey that we're doing for the new Parks and Rec study of all of our parks and recreation programs. Our parks serve many stakeholders, not just the residents. While our residents, of course, are very important stakeholders, non-residents also provide important revenue streams by participating in all of our programming and enjoying our parks. Our parks are an asset, and we are looking to be evaluated by all who enjoy them, not just our residents. For example, many Upper Gwynedd residents use non-township parks such as White's Road Park or Fisher's Park. Additionally, the whole non-resident versus resident issue is addressed in the survey by question 4, which asks if you are a resident or non-resident. And the question resident, you're directed to specific questions, and if you're a non-resident, you're directed to other questions. Why can you fill out the survey multiple times? The survey cannot be completed more than once from the same device. So technically, someone could answer the survey multiple times if they use different devices. But there's no way to control that, and our consultant, Simone Collins, has not experienced this being an issue in the past. Someone would have to be very motivated to take the survey multiple times using multiple devices. Who's checking the quality control on that survey? Simone Collins is also monitoring those responses. Why don't we mail the surveys to residents? We find in today's world that the best way to collect data is the way we have chosen to do so. We have advertised this survey in our paper newsletter, in our Gazette, online, etc. But the online survey tool also tends to elicit the best response for the most effective practice. In the past, we have chosen to use other ways to collect data. For this type of planning document, we usually utilize web surveys. It is also important to remember that there are many public meetings that are also part of the CPROS process as well as focus groups. So there are many ways for residents' voices to be heard. Regarding your question on trash haulers and their requirements, trash haulers reminding them of their ordinance and that they need to provide 2 collection dates, one in the spring and one in the fall. Whitetail did notify us of when they were collecting last year. If the residents choose to put out leaves in the trash stream and do not on those specific days for recycling, that is their choice and not an enforceable issue. The EAC is also working on an educational effort for the fall newsletter Gazette articles regarding leaf waste. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me. We also got an email from Beth Miller stating that she watched Monday night's Board of Commissioner meeting because she was waiting at home for an important call. Both Dennis Patterson and I were exceedingly happy to hear that there may be an ordinance in our future that requires anyone who digs up Upper Gwynedd Township Road must completely repair the road surface and not simply make a flimsy trench repair. I am writing to let you know that I wholeheartedly support this and hope that the commissioners extend the required timing to as many years as seems possible and reasonable. Thanks so much to whomever got the ball rolling on this proposed ordinance. Next up for our public comments this evening is Fred Hankin.
Good evening. Fred Hankin. I am a resident. I want to thank Sandra as well. I think I've known you since the day you started here. Doing great. Thank you. You always get back to me and questions and always very professional. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Just to follow up, Catherine, to the one question about quality control. The quality control question had to do with the fact when I was, and Sandra can attest this, when I first tried to fill out the survey, it got stuck. And I notified Sandra, and I think they went back to the consultant and got it fixed. But my question was more about the fact that how can they put out a survey that doesn't work? And this happened, I believe, with the other survey that went out a few years ago where it got stuck as well. And I don't know if it's the same question or not, or same company or not. So my question had to do more with who's checking to make sure it's working before they actually submit it to the public for use. That was really my question, but I appreciate your answer.
Thank you.
So last week they had an open space meeting here, and there was a lot of questions about open space. And the consultants kind of went around the question regarding about when they were asked about the Martin property, we were told that they were told to stay away from this as part of their proposal, and I'm not sure exactly what that meant. So my question, first of all, is what are the township's plans for the properties, the Martin property, the next target for this board to pursue illegal spot zoning to accommodate the county's agenda regarding subsidized housing? That was one question I had. Regarding the Upper Gwynedd Township goals and objectives for 2024 that I saw last week, could someone answer the question as to what does continued education of the public regarding affordable housing and its impact on the township mean? How do you measure success? How do you know you're successful or not with that? So I'm not sure what continued education of the public regarding affordable housing means, but I just didn't understand that. And I'm sorry, I have terrible allergies, so I apologize. And the last question, just asking for clarification, maybe Sandra, you're the one to answer this, but on the board's list of high priorities is a, quote, improved wastewater treatment plant to handle capacity of stormwater. And my question is, does this mean that the township is giving up on its I&I reduction program and developing a plan to expand the township's wastewater treatment plant to become a dual sanitary and stormwater treatment plant? So I guess it was just a general question. I see the no, I didn't think so, but the way it was written was a little confusing, that's all.
Okay, we'll clarify it and get back to you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
That concludes our public comment section this evening. Next up, our Finance, Personnel, and Administration. So we have a motion to approve consent items A through H. Yeah, I'm making that motion. One sec.
What?
I said I'm making a motion to approve consent items A through H. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Ms. Logan, can you complete a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Mull.
Aye.
All in favor, excuse me. All in favor, say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Next, number 8, motion to approve the proclamation for Arbor Day, April 27th, 2024. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up, I have a motion to approve resolution. Yeah, I am. I thought that's what I said. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm making a motion to approve resolution 10-2024, disposition of specific township records. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? Any public comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next, I have a motion to approve the tax stipulation agreement for 1800 Pembroke Parkway. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? We have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I have a motion to approve the 2024 Board of Commissioners goals and objectives. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? Any further public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. For our next agenda item, I will turn it over to Commissioner Moody.
Thank you. Okay, for number 12, Resolution 15-2024. This is 2 parcels where the lot line adjustments are being proposed that reflect the existing fence line between 2 parcels. I'd like to make a motion to approve this Resolution 15-2024, the waiver of land development for the lot line adjustment at 419 and 425 Moyer Boulevard.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do you have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Item 13, I'd like to make a motion to approve sending the solicitor to the zoning hearing board meeting in support of the zoning application for 1180 Welsh Road.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Last one for me, item 14, a slight adjustment. I'd like to make a motion to direct the manager, the township manager, to obtain quotes in order to get conflict counsel related to the application for 203 Church Road.
So Commissioner Moody, since we're changing this agenda item a little bit, we're going to need a motion to amend the agenda according to the motion you just read first.
Can I make that motion? Okay,
Just say so moved.
so moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Now,
Now you have to go back to the motion.
Okay, now back to the motion. I would like to make a motion to direct the manager to obtain quotes to get conflict counsel related to the application for 203 Church Road.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments?
could you please come to the mic so the audience can hear your question?
Could you explain a little bit more what conflict counsel is? I think I know, but maybe for the general public.
Certainly. So
I have a general idea, but
Certainly. So 203 Church Road, obviously the school district has an interest in that.
yes.
My firm serves as special counsel to the school district to handle land development matters. While there is likely no conflict and an abundance of caution, the board has decided to obtain conflict counsel to represent the township with regard to that application.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a motion and a second.
Oh, okay.
And you
We have
took
public comments.
so-
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up on our agenda, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, President Carter. Agenda item number 15. Last year, our police chief formed a committee to review our police's general orders, related responses to resistance, de-escalation, and related topics. This committee provided updates and additional feedback, and that was given from Attorney Chris Boyle, who is a police policy expert. We are adopting these changes via the following resolution. I would like to make a motion to approve Resolution 11-2024, Police Department Response to Resistance Orders.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Agenda item number 16. The Board of Commissioners already approved an intergovernmental agreement regarding this item last November. However, there have been some changes to the law, and the memorandum of understanding has been updated by our solicitor. Therefore, we need to approve it again. I would like to make a motion to approve the revised MOU for Bus Patrol America.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Agenda item number 17. Changes in pretrial services in the last few years have substantially increased the time officers spend on arrests and arraignments. This will allow the Montgomery County Correctional Facility, or MCCF, to do the processing and allow our officers to get back to Upper Gwynedd Township where they are most needed most quickly. I would like to make a motion to approve Resolution 14-2024, MOU with the Montgomery County Correctional Facility for processing prisoners.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Agenda item 18, I'm going to turn this one over to our manager, Sandra Zadell, to give a more extensive explanation of this item.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Hall. So as some of the people in the room might recall, back in 2022, the township engaged in conjunction with our fire department, the Upper Gwynedd Fire Department, the governor's local government services through the DCD to do a study for a location for a new fire department location, for a new fire station location. In this study, DCD recommended that we communicate with our neighboring municipalities to see if there's any interest in exploring regionalization of fire protection before investing in a fire station and planning that goes along with that, along with any construction-related activities, which, as we all can imagine, get expensive. We did just that and found out that there was some interest amongst neighboring municipalities at looking at some way of potentially working together to look at the different ways that we could work together and collaborate to provide optimization of our resources, reducing the duplication of efforts, and streamline our fire operations. Staff from the municipalities and representatives from our volunteer fire companies who are in full force. Thank you to our wonderful volunteers from all of the different companies. I know I see North Penn Fire Company here, and I see Upper Gwynedd Fire Company here. I don't know if Wissahickon's here. Are you here, Wissahickon? No, but at least I have two, so that's exciting. Thank you both for being here tonight. So we've been working together, meeting and talking about what it would look like if we could explore working together in we already work together a lot. I want to put that out there to the community. These two groups train together. They do a lot of work together. They work on tons of calls together. But one thing we wanted to look at is reducing the duplication of all of these efforts. When we look at reducing the duplication of efforts, one way we can do that is to engage professional services to help that. I'm just a township manager. I don't know everything about everything, but I do know that there are a lot of people smarter than me that can figure out a better way to potentially provide fire services. So the DCED is that group. They provide these services at no cost to municipalities or fire companies. And each municipality that's interested in participating would have to complete a letter of intent, which is what we had to do the last time when we did a fire station study. So we are looking to submit a letter of intent to the DCED. The municipalities that we're looking to work with are North Wales Borough, our neighbor, right, that we surround, Lower Gwynedd Township, and Ambler Borough. You might ask why that group of municipalities, and that's because we all work together already and in a service coverage area through the area that covers North Wales Borough and Lower Gwynedd Township. So currently, Wissahickon Fire Department service Lower Gwynedd Township as well as the North Penn Volunteer Fire Company. And Upper Gwynedd Township and Upper Gwynedd is served by the North Penn Volunteer Fire Company for QRS services, as well as they come out to a lot of our fire calls as well as mutual aid services. So the scope of this study is going to look at working together to maximize efficiency and effectiveness of our fire protection services. We're seeking a business analysis that will enable us to examine the duplication of services and purchasing of essential apparatus, that means fire trucks, across our communities. So the analysis will include the structure of a sustainable solution. So right now, we actually, everyone doesn't know that our fire departments are 100% volunteer. All of these 3 fire departments are 100% volunteer. We look at minimum staffing times and response times for these volunteer fire companies. Looking at fair share analysis, if we were all to work together, how would the financial part of that work? How does it work with what you bring to the table? What do we all have? And how do we mesh that together to do something new? How do previously held financials work out, relief funds? There's a lot of detail there that needs to be reviewed. A review of our current stations, and analysis for which stations could be utilized if we were going to work together in a new way. And all of the municipalities together are open to a wide net of solutions, so long as the result would reduce the duplication of efforts and related to volunteerism, facilities, and vehicles. There was a time in the past, it's long before my time as a municipal manager, where, and I'm sure any of the more seasoned volunteers could speak to this better than I could, that there were whole families volunteering in the fire service. It was a real tradition of families. People got time off work to come and be part of the fire service. It's just not that same way anymore. There's a real decline in volunteerism. And we need to find a new way to work together and make it easier for people to be part of the fire service, because there's just a real increased cost associated with having to switch to even a paid company. We're trying to extend the life of our volunteer services. And additionally, fire trucks don't cost, I don't know what they cost. Liz isn't here, but she's usually good for telling us what something cost like in 1950. I don't know, do any of you know what a fire truck cost in 1950? Really putting you guys on the spot right now. A tenth. Great call, Eric. Yeah. So they're costing upwards of what, $2 million these days? And just a couple years ago, we bought them for $1 million. So it's very quickly these costs are just rapidly increasing. So we're just trying to find a way that we want to explore working together in a different way. I can't tell you what the result of this study is going to be, if this is going to result in a brand new department, if this is going to result in a new shared coverage area that we're all working together in a different way. I don't exactly know what it's going to result in. What I hope it's going to result in is us finding out a new way to do things that's going to provide better. We already provide excellent service to our residents, but maybe when I say better, I mean a more efficient way, that we're all not just doing the same thing in our own little areas, but that we're all working together and sharing what we have. I hope that I've delivered that. You're all shaking your heads at me, so I think I've done a good job in delivering what our shared mission is. The other towns are going to be considering the same thing. I think North Wales and Lower Gwynedd are tomorrow night, and then Ambler Borough will be later in the month. So what I'm asking for from the board tonight is a motion to authorize the submission of a letter of intent. That's what the Governor's Center for Local Government Services, which is the Department of Community and Economic Development, asks us to do for a fire services study on behalf of Ambler Borough, Lower Gwynedd Township, North Wales Borough, and Upper Gwynedd Township. Are there any questions from the board? That was quite a lot. Okay.
Thank you, Sandra.
Sure.
I would like to make a motion to authorize the submission of a letter of intent to the Governor's Center for Local Government Services and the PA Department of Community and Economic Development to conduct a fire service study on behalf of Ambler Borough, Lower Gwynedd Township, North Wales Borough, and Upper Gwynedd Township.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now I'm going to hand it over to Commissioner Mall. Did the fire companies want to say anything before?
I just wanted to say that they're all very busy volunteers, and they might want to just have us say, like, thank you for coming, and you're free to go, just like my family did. You can flee if you'd like to. You saw the Zadells hightailed it right out of here. No one will think less of you. You're also welcome to stay, either way.
If,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for
thank
coming.
you.
We really
you for what you
appreciate you
guys
all
do.
coming. Thank you all for coming.
Coming.
You too.
Okay, so next up is Public Works, Parks and Recreation, Commissioner Mall.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a couple quick points of personal privilege. This weekend on Saturday, Commissioner Hall and I had the privilege of joining Upper Gwynedd baseball and softball, the Hawks and the Lady Hawks at their opening day. I have a vested interest with two kids that play in that league, both baseball and softball, and as a coach, and I can see firsthand the difference that those programs make in the lives of those kids, just the skills that they learn that they'll take with them for the rest of their lives, not even just baseball fundamentals, but, and I always call it, integrity, sportsmanship, and what I always refer to as just handling your business on and off the field. So I'm really proud that the township is supportive of that program, and we're really pleased to be a part of that. That was a cold day, but a very moving opening day for a lot of those kids, and it's a real honor to be a part of that program. The other thing I wanted to give a shout out to for Sarah for putting together what I thought was a very good turnout today for our Eclipse event. We couldn't have possibly anticipated the turnout, so we did run out of glasses, unfortunately. But gosh, we had people like the parking lot was pretty full and a lot of people on the lawn. So I thought a great gathering of our neighbors and people from surrounding communities as well to take advantage of the beautiful park facility that we have here to experience this solar event. So I thought that was really another great job done by Sarah and the Parks and Rec. So with that, I'd like to first, you can see the first item on the agenda under Parks and Rec. I'm going to be seeking approval of Resolution 12, 2004, TCDI grant application for the Power Lane Trail. What that is going to do, that's a grant application through the DVRPC, and we're asking for $75,000 to improve 2 crossings that hadn't been, that have been, of concern throughout the project. So that particular grant would go to alleviating the concerns for those particular pinch points. So with that, would you like me to make a motion? I'll make a motion for the approval of Resolution 12, 2004 TCDI grant application for the Power Line Trail.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? I just want to clarify, Greg, you said that the grant is for $75,000, or we have to pay $75,000?
The grant that we're seeking, we're applying for a grant of $75,000 to study and work on the challenges along that trail.
Okay.
There's no match.
No match? Excellent. Love that. Do you have any public comments? Oh, go ahead.
I have a comment. I can't help myself. I thought of it after the last meeting. A grant is more like a gift card than a coupon. I can't help myself. There you go. Just wanted to tell you that.
I should-
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Madam President. Second, on item number 29, approval of Resolution 13, 2004 DCNR C2P2 grant application for Powerline Trail construction project. What this is, we're seeking 1/2 of the funds for the construction dollars. The total cost of the section of the trail is $997,778, and this grant requires a 50% match. So with that, seeking approval, I make a motion for approval of Resolution 13, 2004 DCNR C2P2 grant application for Powerline Trail construction project.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Do you have any board comments? Do you have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
Madam President, I'm making a motion to seek authorization to advertise the bid for heating oil.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do you have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
And finally, I'm seeking, making a motion for authorization to re-advertise the bid for equipment rental with labor for various stormwater projects. This is a rebid of the equipment rental with labor for the stormwater projects, and this was put out to bid in March, and we received no bids. So motion to authorize to re-advertise the bid for equipment rental and labor for various stormwater projects.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
Before we end Park and Rec section, I just also want to do a shout out to our Park and Rec department, piggyback on Greg's. I was at the Bag Bingo on Friday, and I just have to say that that event is fantastic. I mean, I would have thought that the Bag Bingo trend would be starting to wind down. Not Upper Gwyned's. We had a waiting list. The gym, St. Rose's, was packed. The bags they picked were fantastic. The raffle baskets were fantastic. It was a really wonderful job led by Sarah Priebus, Leah Getty, and our newest team member who's fitting right in, Bakir
Altoonbush.
Altoonbush. Sorry, Bakir.
I don't think I got that right. I did.
We'll keep working on that, definitely. So that was amazing. But I also have to do a shout out as the public safety liaison to our 2 police officers who came to the event who took community policing to a whole new level. We have started to ask several police officers to come to this event and to model the bags and have a little fun and show off the bags. Well, these 2 police officers, I mean, when I say that they were committed, that's not an understatement. They improvised, they danced, they catwalked. I mean, it was a show. It was its own show. And I think what's so amazing to me about that is that it just proves that they just weren't going to take themselves too seriously, that they still can laugh at themselves and they still know how to engage with our community and really have a great time for a great cause. And so I have to do this incredible shout out to our own Officer Harry Coulter and Officer Brant Whistler.
Sergeant Harry Coulter.
Oh, Sergeant Harry Coulter and Officer Brant Whistler.
And
Thank you.
if you missed, the pictures are on Instagram and their Facebook page of the police modeling.
I don't know if all of them are. Are all of them?
I already gave quite a few comments about additional training that'll be required.
It was well worth it. That training will be well worth it.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. Next up is wastewater treatment. I have a motion to approve Resolution 09-2024 pre-treatment fees for 2023.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second.
I'll second.
Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I have a motion to approve the CoStar's quote from Blooming Glen Contractors in the amount of $22,633.12 via CoStar's contract 016-E23-281.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. No, I'm sorry. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to get this right, public. That's right. It's difficult when I'm the one making the motion. That's what it is.
Well,
When I'm making-
technically Rebecca Moody made that motion and I recorded Denise Hull as the second. Okay. Sorry, Greg. It was a battle for the second.
Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I have a motion to approve the April 2024 open invoices. Do you have a second?
Second. Oh, I think this is roll call.
Oh, it's a roll call.
So moved.
I didn't get there yet.
Yeah, so moved.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Ms. Logan, can you complete the roll call?
President Carter?
Aye.
Vice President Moody?
Aye.
Commissioner Hall?
Aye.
Commissioner Mall?
Motion passes unanimously. Next up, number 26, motion to approve. I make a motion to approve the April 2024 paid invoices.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor? I'm sorry. Ms. Logan, can you please complete the roll call?
President Carter?
Aye.
Vice President Moody?
Aye.
Commissioner Hall?
Aye.
Commissioner Mall?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Does anyone else who would like to make any comments this evening? Any further questions or concerns? Thank you so much for coming out this evening. This meeting stands adjourned.